In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to connect and set up the HubSpot MCP in SimTheory. So all you need to do is go down to the MCP menu here, and we're going to click Manage Connections, and that's going to load up the MCP store, and you'll find the HubSpot integration under CRM. You can click Install, and that'll load up the install process. And then you can give it a connection name. This is if you have multiple HubSpot accounts, so your AI assistant knows which one you're referring to when you ask it to do something. And then down below, you need to fill in this private app access token. So let me show you how to get that. First, you'll need to log in to your HubSpot account, and then you need to click up here on Settings. On the left-hand side here, under Account Management, you'll see Integrations, and you just need to drop that down, and then click Private Apps. So I've got two in here already, but let's do it from scratch so you can see how it works. So we'll click Create a Private App, and then you'll see it gives it a randomly generated name, Attractive Toothbrush in this case. And then we've got to click over to Scopes, and Scopes is basically giving the app permission to do things in our account so that the AI can actually take actions on our behalf. So we'll click Add New Scope, and then we have all of these different scopes that we can select from. And of course, whatever you give it permission to do, that means your AI assistant will have the capability to actually execute upon. So if there's certain things you don't want it to do, you can leave them unchecked. But in my case, I feel pretty confident with the HubSpot MCP and working with it with assistants. It can't really delete anything or do anything nefarious. So I think it's pretty safe to check most of these. Okay, so now you've got your app created. You can click up here, click Create App, and then continue creating here. And this will bring up our token, which we need. So you can click Show Token and then copy. And then what we're going to do is paste the token in here, Private App Access Token, and click Add Connection. And that'll complete the setup process. Now, it takes a moment to verify and spin up the MCP server for you. We'll get a little active light when it's ready, and then we can start using HubSpot. Okay, so now the connection is active and we're ready to use HubSpot for the first time. Now, to show you how these skills can work together, I have a number of other MCPs already installed here. So I've got things like Built With, which can detect what technology someone's using on their website, which is particularly helpful if you're selling software because it can tell you maybe which of your competitors are using are being used by the website that you're looking at. I've also got access to my Microsoft Outlook, so I can go through my emails and a number of other different research tools here. Now, to put HubSpot to the test, what we're going to ask it to do is research the founders of HubSpot, get their email addresses and information about them, and add it to the HubSpot CRM. So you can see that it's away. It's running multiple tools at once here. It's researching in Firecrawl, so that's the tool it's decided to use. Now, there's a number of different tools it could use to figure this information out, but that's the tool it's picked, and often just letting it pick what it wants to use is the best approach. You can see it's retrieved the HubSpot details of our actual account, so it's going to figure out now how to slot them in. It's doing a little bit more research here on Damesh Shah. It's found his LinkedIn info by the sound of it, and it's continuing to work here. Now, keep in mind, you don't really have to watch this task work away. I'm just watching it because it's interesting to see how it works. You could just open another tab here and go on with another task while it's working in the background, and then you'll get a notification light when it's done. But of course, it's pretty interesting to watch just because we just connected HubSpot. Okay, so it's doing quite extensive research. It's finding LinkedIn and social profiles of these founders. It's looking like it's finding a ton of information about them here. Okay, so you can see it's created 2 new HubSpot contact records for Brian and Damesh. Okay, so it's successfully added the contacts to HubSpot CRM. It's even found phone numbers, which is kind of scary. And it's got emails here, a ton of background information, and it's been able to add all of that to the CRM. So let's take a look. Okay, so in HubSpot, we'll go into our contacts now and see Brian Halligan and Dimash Shah in there. We can see the phone number's blanked out. I guess that's because it got it off one of those sites where it was partially blanked out. And then the job titles here, it's got in here, and we can click into them. You'll see it's also linked them to a company record as well. So it's gone ahead and put all of that in. And then it's put in all the additional information that it's been able to collect. And we can see here in the company record as well, it's filled in all that kind of information. Now, let's try creating a deal against the HubSpot business. And we'll say we're trying to sell some widget software here. We are trying to sell these guys widget software. Can you create a deal with the value $2,000 in HubSpot? Okay, so let's see if it can go ahead and create a deal for us in here as well. Okay, so it's done. It's created a deal. You can see how much time this could really save you with working in a CRM. It's put in a bunch of different data. Widget software sale opportunity targeting HubSpot co-founders. Both founders have extensive experience in sovereign technology, making them ideal prospects. And it's got the deal open here. I'm not that familiar with HubSpot, but let's try and find that deal. So we'll go into deals here, and we've got the widget software deal in here. And yeah, we've got the contacts associated with the deal, which is really cool. And we can do all sorts of things like add activities, like add follow-ups, add notes, and basically get it to act as a co-worker or a true assistant for you doing agentic tasks. Okay, so now let's try one more interesting use case. Currently, I get a lot of these sales leads into my Microsoft Outlook inbox, and I might want to take those leads, get my assistant to triage them and enter them into HubSpot for me. But before it does that, maybe qualify them and also do a bit of research on them to make sure all of the information that comes in to HubSpot itself is up to date. So I can say, read my emails and find any new leads. Do some research on the people first and then add them to my HubSpot CRM. So let's see if it can do this. Okay, so you can see it found some potential leads in my emails. It retrieved the specific email messages, and we'll watch it continue to work away here on the task. Okay, so you can see it identified a lead directly from my inbox. This is obviously a test email that I sent, filling in a fake lead form. And it's trying to find information about me. It's not going to do that well because I don't think Michael Sim actually exists, but I'm sure it might be able to find someone. Okay, so it did find actually Michael Sim from SimLink Limited, which I think is hilarious. And so it's gone and found all of this information, and now it is creating the contact, Michael Sim from SimLink Limited, even just from that email in HubSpot here. Okay, success. So high quality lead added to HubSpot CRM, and it's done a pretty good job here. So let's go in and have a look at what it did. So if we go back to contacts here, we can see Michael Sim has been entered in here, and yeah, we have that information in here. Contact it, find and update companyinformation.service.gov.uk. Obviously, not being a real person, it's a little bit challenged here, but you get the idea. So we can read our inbox and do that. And now I'm going to ask it to draft a reply to that email. So I've said, can you draft a reply to that email and confirm before sending, and also then add the activity to HubSpot? You'd probably send the email first, but anyway. we'll see how it plays out. So you can see it's come up with a subject line to reply, an email proposing a bunch of times. It also has access to my calendar, which is pretty cool, so it can see if I'm available. During the demo, I'll show you some different specifications. This is pretty good. And it says confirmation required. So it's not going to log it until we confirm and send the email. That's pretty smart. So I'll say, okay, let's send it. Okay, so you can see that it's sent the email from my Outlook, and now it's going to go and add the activity into HubSpot CRM to track that I sent this email. All right, what a success. So that shows you just how well these MCPs work together. My email, my HubSpot, and I can also use things like other tools as well to do research before a meeting. So we'll say, can you research what HubSpot technology is used on their website and add it to the related HubSpot detail as a note. Okay, so you can see it's used built with. It's then gone and searched and scraped 5 HubSpot tech stack blog results to figure out what tech stack they actually use and cross-check that reference. And then it's gone in here and added detail in a HubSpot with the tech stack to 2 of the contacts here. So it's given a full comprehensive breakdown of what technology stack they're using here. So pretty interesting stuff. You could also do things like ask it for advice or next steps on deals, what deals you should follow up. There's a lot to unpack from these MCPs. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. That's how you install and work with the HubSpot MCP. If you like this video, please do like it below, subscribe for more videos like this. And if you have suggestions of other MCPs you'd like me to demo on this channel, please leave them in the comments below. I'll see you in the next one.